High Counselor Zethkar stared at the holographic display with growing dread, his four eyes blinking in rapid succession, a clear sign of distress among his species. The tactical readout showed 17 Galactic Council monitoring stations, going dark in the past solar cycle, their signals vanishing one by one like stars being snuffed out. "How?" he whispered, his translator struggling with the emotion in his voice. The human quarantine had seemed foolproof. After humanity's discovery of faster-than-light travel, the Council had acted swiftly. These violent, unpredictable primates from Sol 3 had been contained within their home system using the most advanced containment technology available, quantum barriers that made space itself impenetrable, cutting off all access to hyperspace, lanes. The barrier had held for 50 Earth years. Commander Vixtel, her chitinous exoskeleton clicking nervously, approached the High Counselor's platform. "Sir, we're receiving another transmission from the humans. They're requesting an audience." "Requesting?" Zethkar's mandibles twitched. "How are they even communicating beyond the barrier?" The answer came on the main display as Captain Sarah Chen's weathered face appeared, speaking from what looked like the bridge of an impossibly advanced vessel. Behind her, the familiar blue-white glow of a hyperspace engine hummed quietly, technology that should have been impossible for them to develop in isolation. "Greetings, High Counselor Zethkar," Chen said with a smile that didn't reach her eyes. "We appreciate your patience during our transitional period." "Impossible," Zethkar breathed. "The quantum barriers were an excellent teacher," Chen interrupted. "You see, when you trap a species that survived ice ages, plagues, world wars, and nuclear weapons by studying the very fabric of space-time, we tend to get creative. Your barriers didn't just contain us, they gave us a laboratory." The display shifted to show the space around Earth. Where once a single pale blue dot had orbited a yellow star, now a thriving network of habitats, stations, and shipyards filled the system. Massive vessels, their hulls gleaming with unknown alloys, moved between planets that had been terraformed with impossible speed. 50 years, Chen continued, is plenty of time to reverse engineer quantum barriers, improve upon them, and develop our own hyperspace technology. But more importantly, it gave us time to think about what we'd do when we got out. Vixtel's claws scraped against the deck. "Sir, our deep space monitoring networks report massive hyperspace distortions throughout the outer rim. These aren't random jumps. It's coordinated." The truth hit Zethkar like a plasma bolt. "They're not just breaking out. They're already out." Chen nodded approvingly. "The barriers had a fascinating side effect. They created quantum resonance patterns we could trace backwards. Every council ship, every monitoring station, every secret facility, you all became beacons leading us straight to you." As if summoned by her words, reports began flooding in from across the galaxy. Human vessels were appearing at the edge of every major system, not with weapons blazing, but with something far more unsettling, aid convoys and trade proposals. "They're offering medical supplies to the plague-ravaged Centauri colonies," one aide reported, confusion evident in their translator's tone. "The mining worlds of the Vegan system are receiving atmospheric processors, advanced beyond our own. Technology," added another. Chen's smile widened. "You quarantined us because you feared our violence. But isolation taught us that survival isn't about fighting. It's about adaptation, cooperation, and making ourselves indispensable. Every species you oppressed, every world you exploited, every system you ignored, they're all receiving our help now. The implications crashed over Zeth-Kar like a tsunami. The Council's power had always rested on maintaining dependencies, controlling resources, and managing the complex web of interspecies politics. If humanity was offering better alternatives freely, the hegemony of Altair just withdrew from the Council, Vixtel reported, her voice hollow. They're citing new opportunities for autonomous development. The crystalline entities have voided their mining contracts with us. They say humans have offered them something called fair trade agreements. The entire outer spiral is mobilizing defensive fleets, not against humans, but demanding Council forces leave their territories. Chen leaned back in her chair, utterly relaxed despite commanding what was apparently the most sophisticated fleet in known space. You taught us that the galaxy sees Earth as dangerous, so we decided to be dangerous to the right people. Every species you've subjugated, every world you've strip-mined, every civilization you've held back, they all received our message before you did. What message? Zeth-Kar asked, though he suspected he already knew. That the quarantine is ending, that Earth remembers who put us in that cage, and that we're very interested in discussing new management for galactic civilization. The display showed the space around Earth once more, but now Zeth-Kar could see the truth. Those weren't just ships and stations. They were the foundation of an empire built in secret, an infrastructure that had been preparing for this moment for half a century. You turned our prison into your fortress, he whispered, and our exile into an education, Chen agreed. 50 years to study every aspect of galactic civilization from the outside, to contact every dissatisfied species, to prepare for the day we'd take our place in the galaxy, not as members of your council, but as its replacement. As if to punctuate her words, hyperspace signatures began appearing throughout council space, not just human ships, but vessels from dozens of species, all bearing new alliance markings. Chen stood from her command chair. The quarantine taught us patience, ingenuity, and the value of making friends. Thank you for that education, High Counselor. We'll put it to good use. The transmission ended, leaving Zeth-Kar staring at a tactical display that showed his centuries-old empire crumbling in real time. The humans hadn't just escaped their cage, they'd turned it into a launching pad for the greatest political revolution in galactic history. The quarantine had indeed backfired, spectacularly.